Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to A Clash of Kings 3.0. Now, when we left off, we had actually defended reasonably well against the forces of Lorath. Now, obviously, they are not giving up. They would not give up because, obviously, we are probably the weakest faction in the area, so they're just like, oh yes, we must push our advantage as much as we can. Now, what I've done is I've placed a number of our peasants and other things in Grey Cliffs and Lorath itself. Now, the one problem that we're having right here is the fact that the liege himself is running around with their marshal, or as far as I'm aware, it's their marshal because this guy seems to be accompanying him. So, things are not going as well as I anticipated they would because, well, as you can see here, we have a lot of ranged units. Yeah, I'm going to be taking all these crossbowmen, all these archers, and going against these guys, because obviously they do not have units, as far as I'm aware, that have shields. I'm not entirely sure if the Vanguard have shields. I don't think they do. I think the Vanguard Lorathi units have big two-handed swords. So obviously that's going to mean that we may have an advantage in that respect. So let's do this. Now, the villagers are going to be on our side. I very much hope that they will be tagged as infantry. Yes, they are. That's fantastic. That's really good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just place our infantry here, place our archers at the back there. We're not going to walk in to the village, because that will mean that we will have a distinct disadvantage. I actually have a horse here? Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay, so how many... Oh, do I really have that few archers? I really don't have that many archers here. That is not very good. I have a huge amount of infantry, but okay, I'm going to have to be a little bit selective here about how we do this, but I have a really bad feeling about this fight. Oh my, I think we might be in a bit of trouble, and that was a great attack, wasn't it? That was absolutely fantastic. Really, really good attack right there. Good job, Elias. Good job. Yes, you're doing a really, really nice job here, aren't you? Really. I don't want my horse to die, to be honest. Don't want my horse to die. I'm going to tell everyone to charge in, all the infantry to charge in at least. Don't really mind if we lose all of them, to be honest. I would very much rather not lose any archers. Now, obviously, I think, partially, it might be a better idea to actually, well, retreat maybe, and maybe just attack them in the fields of battle, because that would mean that we wouldn't have any peasants with us, and it would be a lot easier. Obviously, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave our archers just to fire away there, and I think we're probably going to be retreating now, because I think we probably would have lost a bunch of archers there. Yes, okay, we did lose 3 Raventree archers, but that's basically it. Everything else was, you know, inconsequential, really. I mean, the main thing what I want to do here is move away from the village. I do not want to attack the forces here next to the village. I would very much like them to... Are you seriously going to continue raiding that? That is so annoying. That really is very annoying, isn't it? What can I do here? What can I do here to prevent them from actually going in? Not much. Not much. I guess I'm just going to have to charge them. Maybe I can just draw them out. Yes. Yeah, there we go. That's what I like. That's what I like to... Oh. Seems like we have gained an additional opponent in the form of a Norvoshi unit. So we have a very small amount of people. We have 34. I could just retreat right now, actually. Let's retreat with no... yeah, that's also a problem. That is actually a problem. But that was a pretty bad battlefield, so I'm pretty happy to do that and just see if we can get a better one. This actually seems pretty reasonable, but again, we are getting extremely bad luck in terms of our encounters. I literally was just trying to get them away from the village so that I wouldn't have as many villagers clogging up all of the archery slots, which is kind of the main reason why I wanted to do that. And now it is pretty bad, because we have an additional, I think, an additional 60 units or so to fight, and that obviously makes a huge difference to our battle advantage. And it also does make a difference to the units included in the fight, because I can assume that the Norvoshi units actually do have shields. They probably do have shields, so we do need to be very, very careful about that. I'm kind of disappointed by that, actually. Anyway, let's see what we can do I am hoping that we can move over here. Where are they coming? Ah, there they are. I see them on the ridge over there. And it might be an idea to get them over... Ah, there's actually a bridge over there. Oh, well, if we can force them onto the bridge, then that would be quite nice. But let's just start firing away, shall we? The infantry can also get over there and just try and run some interference, I suppose. But for the most part, I think this is going to be another one of those hit-and-run attacks. I have a feeling that we are going to be in extremely bad shape very, very soon if our archers do not start killing them immediately. But as you can see, there are actually a bunch of units with shields, and I have just been stopped. Yeah, just got stopped by a tree, which is exactly the reason why I absolutely loathe this area now. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. Great. Very good job. Very good job, Elias. Oh, well. Never mind. Never mind. As long as we can just take a bunch of them out, I'm going to try and kill this guy with the shield, because he's kind of being annoying to our archers. There's just so many of them with shields, isn't there? Yeah. So many of them with shields. That is not good at all. Not good at all. Okay, well, there's that guy. Don't focus on this guy. I've got him. Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, okay, so it seems... yeah, it seems like our infantry were not charging in either, which is never a good sign. Okay, so I guess I'm actually just going to retreat once again. I don't really know much more that I can do. So we're just going to retreat once again. And we did lose some more archers, but I feel like we would lose even more if we actually decided to continue the attack. So as you can see, who's that guy down here? Yeah, this guy. As well as this guy. Okay, so there were actually two of them joining in, which is extremely upsetting, isn't it? Extremely upsetting. Okay, so they're going to go on, and they're going to continually attack that village. There's also another one from Norvos that has 111. I have a feeling that I will be unable to defend here adequately enough. It seems like it, right? Yeah, it actually seems like it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take even more units here, but I don't really want to take them out of here because, well, that's basically the only thing preventing anyone from besieging this constantly, so... okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to take a couple more just to make things a little bit more on our side, because if we continue to do this, then we're going to have many more problems. So let's see if I can actually get this guy away from the village. It seems like, it seems like I've stopped him. It seems like I've stopped him. That is actually very good. Okay, thank you very much for stopping. That's great. Ah, okay. A religious fanatic from Old Town is following your army. While he gains some converts, he also creates some unrest. You decide to let him be. If I let him be, then I lose honor, I think. But if I get rid of him, what do? I suppose lose honor as well. Oh, never mind. The townsfolk of Old Town hear of your piousness. Okay, so I am Elias, the ruler of Lorath. I wish to make peace with Lorath. Should I make peace with... Yes, let's make peace with Lorath. If you were to hand over Lorath, I would be willing to agree to a truce of 20 days. No, thank you very much. I was very much thinking that he was actually being reasonable for once, but no, of course. Of course he's not. Okay, so Pentos is actually not at war against us, which is actually really nice. Ah, hello there. Come over here. Do you want to fight me? I have a feeling that they're going to be quite annoying, aren't they? Okay, so what's this? Tasty wild onions. Let's eat them. Yes, not ignore them. And these guys are all going to be running off over here and probably raiding my villages very soon. I'm just trying to prevent them from raiding the ones very, very close to us right now. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so this guy has come back with renewed vengeance, by the looks of things, which is actually kind of annoying. But if they decide not to attack the village, then we will... Oh my. Really? Are they really going for the crown jewels here, aren't they? They very much are. Okay, so let's see what we can do about that. Okay, so these guys are obviously... Oh, wow. They are really doing that to me, aren't they? They're really doing that to me? Okay, so apparently I'm going to just have to deal with this. And this guy could literally attack me at any point, but obviously he's just busy with going to Lorath. I'm going to keep Lorath because it's a town. I'm going to focus on defending that. And they did start the siege a little bit earlier. So we're just going to head in there and see what we can do about defending it. Let's go guys buy some cabbages and a cheap basket of plums. How can we say no to a cheap basket of plums? Of course. Well, they have me buy the plums, don't they? Oh, of course. Yes, they do. Okay, so let's have a look. Ransom broker. Well, obviously that's... We don't really have any people here right now. Drollo. Aha. I would actually quite like to have Drollo with us, but how much is he? 2,000. I of course cannot afford that. What about Melly? Are you actually free or relatively cheap? 6,000. No, apparently not. Apparently not. That is very sad. Well, Grey Cliffs would be extremely easy to defend, but unfortunately we're not there and we can't split ourselves in two, so... Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I was thinking maybe I should get a companion, because obviously then I could make them a lord or a lady and they would be able to help us out quite a bit. Now, obviously, these guys are attacking a villager. Alright, you're attacking a villager. Not entirely sure why you'd attack a villager, considering Lorath is much more important. But, yeah, apparently that's just what they're doing right now. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for them to do this, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, Grey Cliffs will... Oh, wow, they took that really fast. I'm actually kind of sad about that, because Grey Cliffs is really difficult to take. Alright, so a short time later after Grey Cliffs was taken, which I can probably actually just ask them for a surrender and they'll probably agree to it, so I don't really see any necessity to be too upset about that, so that should be pretty easy to get back. Otherwise, we have 406 Norvoshi units attempting to attack us right here, and we have 243 against them. So let's see how that goes. Obviously, the peasants that would have helped with the auto-calculation battles, kind of, you know, they would have prevented the AI from actually attacking us. Obviously, that is not really going to factor in here. Well, it seems like the opponent has been able to get to the walls relatively easily. Now, obviously, we have, I think, only one ladder to take care of, so I can only hope that the archers that we have right here are going to be sufficient for us to defend. Now, obviously, if I had only a force of Carhold, Longbowmen, and Raventree archers here, I think we would have a much better time of things. But as it stands, I am not holding out much hope, I gotta say. I'm actually really, really worried about this, because if we lose this, then obviously we're really, really out of luck. And I think that it would be extremely, extremely damaging to our presence in the area, because obviously then we lose our last fief, and that's pretty bad, isn't it? That is pretty bad. And there's a nice stumble, of course. So let's try and just kill this guy if we can, please. Thank you very much. And, whoa, they're sending in all the heavy units, aren't they? All the heavy units, but obviously we can't really do much about that right now. We're just going to have to fight our hardest and see what we can do. Obviously, our polearm right now is actually pretty decent at defense, because it is really long and we can outrange our opponents. Obviously, right now when they get into my hitbox, it is not particularly nice. So let's see what I can do here. Yeah, nice damage, nice damage. Okay, now let's see if I can do something here. Ah, yes, they did not go for the overhead. Very nice. And thank you very much, Carhold Longbowman. It seems they actually helped me quite a bit. Okay, so we are losing quite a few of our archers right now because they have gotten to the first archery nest, which is not very nice of them, I have to admit. But hopefully we'll be able to just eliminate them all relatively quickly otherwise. Have you already run out of arrows? Have they Surely not. Surely not. Surely they are infinite, right? Yeah, it looks like they might be infinite. I don't know. I can't really see the amount of bolts or arrows that they have in their quivers right now. But as you can see, this right here is the reason why I thought that Lorath would actually be really nice to defend, because they just have such an insane distance to cover. As you can see, there are even bodies all the way out there that are littered and peppered with arrows and bolts. But apparently that is not the case. Apparently Grey Cliffs may have been a better thing to defend initially, maybe because it was a little bit easier for them to establish a beachhead there, a little bit easier to get some ladders up and things, but obviously I was a bit unaware of how long it would take each of them, and obviously Norvos did start their siege first. You know, I'm actually just pleading with our Carhold Longbowmen and Raventree archers right now. When I was off screen, I was just like, please shoot them. Because, literally, these guys, they just seem to be allowing them to run to the ladders. I mean, they're literally allowing them to get here, and that's not characteristic of the Carhold Longbowmen, is it? Not at all. I mean, usually you would see these guys absolutely destroy everything before they even get there, but obviously the shields do make a huge difference, and Norvos, it just so happened to be Norvos that was attacking us, because if it wasn't Norvos and it was Lorath or someone else, then I think it might actually be much easier, because obviously it really just depends on the shield, and the shield is very, very strong in terms of the Norvoshi units by the looks of things, so I'm pretty disappointed by that actually. But let's get out our shield as well and see if we can do a little bit of damage with our one-handed weapon here. We're gonna have to fight to the very last. I'm not entirely sure where our other forces are. They do have some unsullied units as well, by the way, but that shouldn't really take too much to kill. These guys are literally, are they literally that difficult for me to kill that I am, I'm actually getting deflected by their armor with my one-handed weapon? That is hilarious. Oh wow, I was not anticipating that at all. Okay, well at least we do have some of our Lorathi crossbowmen. Yes, there we go, Lorathi crossbowmen. Thank you. Thank you for actually helping me. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's do some more damage here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I like to see. Some nice overheads with our glaive. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we are getting another wave of enemies, but as you can see, we have actually done a pretty decent job of things by taking out 141 of them. How many are there, actually? I think there's about 400. So this is... I mean, how many do we have? 236 or something? And we've only lost 37. So, in general, we should, in theory, survive this in terms of the ratios that we've currently come to know as being true, which is obviously going to be quite helpful, because as you can see now, they seem to be giving us armed villagers to feast on. So I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that. And they do seem to have more than one armed villager, so that's bad luck. We all know that having more than one armed villager is bad luck, so yeah. We should be fine. We should be absolutely fine. Obviously, I just need to be very, very careful about the way I use my glaive right here, because as you can see, I don't really have much space to swing it. So I'm going to have to be using the angles to the best of my ability. And yeah, the best of my ability is not very far, but still, seems like we're doing okay, you know, not too bad. And they seem to have sent in many of their actually pretty terrible units, so I'm actually pretty happy. Ah, yeah. Seems like we might be able to come up with a pretty solid defense for the remaining waves. It seems like they sent in their best units. They're still sending in their elite Norvoshi axemen, which are very, very good. They are heavily armored on the torso, maybe not so much on the helm or on the head area, but that's absolutely fine. As you can see, though, Lorathi Veluge men are actually not that bad at defense, because they have these huge two-handed slicing machines in their hands, and, you know, that's actually pretty decent. That is pretty decent, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, because obviously they should, I hope, have a bonus against shields, and because obviously the Axemen have pretty good shields, you know, that makes a difference. So let's see how it goes for the remaining waves. There's 186 incoming to us. Oh no, actually no, there's only 45 incoming to us, actually. Alright, so yeah, we are still fighting away here, and I think we might actually have this in the bag. This defense actually seems to be very successful so far. Obviously, I am still losing a number of units, but not so many archers now, so that's pretty good, because I was actually a bit worried about losing all of those archers, but obviously it really just makes it so that we have to recruit a bunch more. And, oh yeah, also, I have changed my culture, by the way. I have changed the culture of my kingdom, and I was actually just waiting at Lorath just to recruit from a village and see if I could actually see what kind of units we gained, because I changed it to nothing in particular, so I wonder whether we're just going to get normal, regular units, or whether they're going to just stay Lorathi units. But I had an option between Lorathi, Stormlands, and sellswords, and nothing in particular, and I decided nothing in particular because I thought, oh well, maybe some nice neutral units would be a good idea, and I didn't really want to pay the exuberant fees of the sellswords, so I thought maybe, you know, just choosing that would be okay, but maybe not. We'll see how it goes, but if, you know, push comes to shove, then we're obviously going to be going with the Stormlands, I guess. Well, I have to say, I'm actually really enjoying having a polearm in this particular siege because I'm able to stay really, really far back and just deal significant damage without even putting myself in harm's way so much. Obviously, when they get into my personal space, which I very much do not appreciate, but when they do that, obviously they're able to deal some damage, but, you know, before that, when our units are fighting tooth and nail at the bottleneck, it's actually really nice to have a longer weapon to deal damage with. I mean, look at that. I'm able to deal damage from here and stumble. Of course. Of course. But yes, other than that, it's actually really, really cool because it just does so much damage from range. And obviously, yeah, it's not the best when it comes to close quarters combat, but it's okay. You know, it's fine. I mean, this game is not meant to be played as a, you know, god simulator. You're meant to be a regular, technically, quote-unquote, man on the field of battle, so I'm not expecting to, obviously, kill hundreds and hundreds of people by myself, so, yeah. I mean, that has happened. That has happened, so, you know, it is generally a thing, but as you can see, for the most part, this glaive is just really good because it keeps them at range. I mean, look at that. I mean, yes, okay, another two-handed weapon could probably do the same thing, and I'm actually looking for a blunt polearm, so something a little bit shorter, but a little bit better against heavier units, so I won't have to actually hit them on the head to deal damage, because that would be much more convenient. Well, I suppose the one good thing about this defense is that Elias has leveled up, I think, 3 times now. And that is making things a whole lot easier because, well, obviously we're going to be gaining a little bit more power strike, hopefully. And hopefully that will then mean that we'll be able to, well, we are improving our proficiency quite a lot. I mean, as you can see here, look at this. Our proficiency with polearms is now 230. And as you can see, because of all the kills that I've been getting, I now have 370 weapon points. So if I was able to actually increase my agility a little bit, I think I might actually be increasing my strength to 20. Mainly because I have that new armor piece, which is going to give us at least another... I need to check that actually before I commit any points, but I think it's going to give us another 13 or 15 or something along those lines body armor, so that's pretty reasonable. You know, that's actually not too bad, and that will mean that we'll obviously be able to survive a little bit more, but yeah, as you can see, they haven't actually gotten very far since, I don't even know, about 15 minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago. I have no idea how long it's been, but as you can see, we have eliminated 317, or actually 327 of the enemy's units. Okay, so I am very much hoping that this is the final reinforcement wave that the enemies have to throw at us, because as you can see, the caliber of unit that they are sending at us right now, they are basically farmers. Farmers and peasants, and they literally have nothing. But apparently, they still want to fire and hurl all kinds of enemies at us. Now, the one thing that is actually making this a little bit more difficult than it has to be is our archery formation right now. So if I just take you upstairs real quick, not in that way, thank you very much, but yeah, if we just go upstairs real quick and take a look at our archers, as you can see, there's only one Carhold Longbowman actually having any kind of view on things. So yeah, it's basically just that and a bunch of crossbowmen, and the rest of them are just running against each other, which is really quite disappointing because literally, if those crossbowmen weren't there, then I think we would have probably done a lot better because, you know, the Raventree and Carhold archers are just extremely good. But anyway, I think this seems like the final wave. As you can see, they're only sending peasants against us now, with the exception of some heavy units. There seems to be one heavy unit down there, hilariously enough. Okay, well, we're going to see what kind he is. But as it stands, these farmers have actually been extremely good at defending, because obviously they are, I use the term insensitively. Yes, I use the term fodder insensitively here, but yes, they are basically fodder, and oh, it's a sellsword crossbowman, never mind. Okay, so that's pretty good. But yeah, they're actually good enough to keep the enemy at bay while being extremely cheap. So I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy. So yeah, as you can see though, these Norvoshi skirmishers and everything, they just die almost instantly to our glaive. Basically just one-hit kills most of the time. And I think that might be it. Is there another wave? If there's another wave, then I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad, game. I'm going to be mad, so you better not. I think that's it, actually. That is it! Aha! A victory. A victory for us. and 49 renown is our reward, which is actually kind of moot at the moment, because it doesn't really make much difference considering we're a king of our own faction, and the king state, status actually does make it so that we have a huge increase in our company capacity. So as you can see here, there is Elias's kills. He killed 137 units in that. That is literally the most ridiculous thing ever, because there was only 406 total. Ugh. Okay, well anyway, we did reasonably well with the glaive, I guess. So, we were able to defeat them all, and I am now going to be taking them prisoner because, screw these guys. I literally do not like it that they attacked us in such a way. But, yeah, there you go. We're going to be taking them all prisoner. Yes, we are. We're going to be taking them all prisoner. They can buy them back. They can buy them back. I'm in your debt for freeing me. I don't know who you are. Who are you? You're Pentos. Oh, alright. Well, that's absolutely fine. Yes, good work. Go away now, thank you. Okay, so, yes, otherwise I do get to rescue a couple of prisoners, which I suppose is fine, but it's not going to replace the huge amounts of Raven Tree Archers and Carhard Longbowmen that we lost, but I guess it's a little bit easier to look after one fief than it is to look after two, especially considering I have no vassals right now, so I suppose it was okay to lose Greycliffs right now, and I am going to be taking it back on the way to recruit a couple more of the Raven Tree Archers and so forth. So let's just take as many of the pieces of loot as we can, because we need all the money we can get, of course. And as you can see, this is what I wanted to use as well as this. And that's going to give us not that much more body armor, actually. So it might not even be worth it to go for 20 strength, but I suppose it's okay and kind of worth it to do so, so probably will do that. But there you go. A defense of Lorath was successful. Unfortunately, Greycliffs was taken, but we will see about that next time. So I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.